Hello students, today we are going to start the sixth module, which is mainly about air pollution monitoring and control. And in this presentation, we'll be mainly dealing with air pollution monitoring, which includes sampling. Air pollution monitoring means it mainly includes sampling and analysis of air pollutants. Sampling means collecting a small sample from the atmosphere or from a stack and finding out what type of pollutant is present in the sample by using certain analysis methods. So the air quality monitoring as a whole includes the sampling and analysis. Now the sampling of the air can be done for the ambient air, that is the atmospheric air, and for the stack air. Also, the analysis is then done for the ambient air as well as the stack air. Now, whether it is ambient air or whether it is stack gas, it mainly consists of gaseous pollutants and particulate matter. Gaseous pollutants are the ones which have size less than 1 micrometer, and particulate matter usually have size greater than 1 micrometer. Again, if we see, analysis is also done for the ambient air and stack air separately, and for particulate matter and gaseous matter also separately. First, we will be mainly dealing with ambient air sampling. So, as I told you, the ambient air means it is the atmospheric air. Why is the sampling of atmospheric air done? Is that when we doubt that there is the presence of certain pollutant in the atmosphere, for example, there is the presence of sulfur dioxide or oxides of nitrogen or carbon monoxide or hydrocarbons, due to the presence of certain industries or certain pollutants in the nearby area, we do the sampling of the air in our area. So, the air sampling mainly is done for gaseous pollutants and particulate matter. The various methods of sampling for gaseous pollutants are grab sampling, absorption in liquids, adsorption onto solid materials, and freeze out sampling. For particulate matter, the sampling methods include sedimentation, high volume sampler, impingement method, electrostatic precipitator, thermal precipitator, and tape sampler. First, let's see the various methods of sampling the gaseous pollutants. We'll start with grab sampling. Grab sampling means it is a direct collection of air contaminant mixture into a device over a short interval of time, that is few seconds or few minutes. So this is mainly done with the help of a evacuated flask or inflatable bag, or done with a stainless steel or glass container. So in the case of evacuated flask or inflatable bag like plastic bag, there are chances of losses of the gas due to moisture condensation or diffusion through the walls. And the analysis also has to be done immediately. In case of stainless steel or glass containers, it has to be evacuated and then filled with the sample. Then it is filled with water and the water is drained out slowly. The next method of Gaussian pollutant sampling is absorption into liquids. There are mainly two types of collectors used for this purpose. They are fritted glass adsorbers and impingers. The impingers have better efficiency. Fritted glass. In this, the gas stream is broken into extremely small bubbles by the fine pores of the fritted glass. It promotes the intimate contact between the gas and the liquid. The frit size is about 50 micrometer. The frit may get blocked, so it should be cleaned regularly. It is difficult to clean, so pre-filtering of the sample has to be done. Impingers. In this, a gas stream is impinged at a high velocity onto a flat surface. Good contact between the gas and the liquid has to be maintained. The flat surface can be at the bottom of the collector, or it may be a specially designed plate inside the impinger. This method gives the same efficiency as that of treated glass. It is easy to clean and maintain. Adsorption on solids. Gases have the capability to get adsorbed on the surface of solids. The adsorbent should have a large surface area. A sample of air is passed through the packed column. Column contains a finely divided solid adsorbent, which may be like carbon bed. The pollutants get adsorbed onto the surface of this bed. The adsorbents commonly used are activated carbon, silica gel. After adsorption, desorption has to be done. This is done by heating the adsorbent and volatilizing the trapped material. Another method is washing with a liquid solvent. Also, after this, the lab analysis has to be done for the adsorbent. Next method of gaseous sampling is freeze-out sampling. This consists of a series of cold traps. The cold traps are maintained at progressively lower temperature. The pollutants are condensed at different temperature. For example, if the gas consists of SO2, CO, NOx, etc., these will get condensed at different temperatures. Trap is analyzed in lab. The methods used for analysis include gas chromatography, infrared or UV spectrometer, mass spectrometry. The coolants used may be ice water, ice salt, dry ice, acetone, liquid air, liquid oxygen, or liquid nitrogen. Now let's see the methods of sampling of particulate matter present in the ambient air. Particulate matter are mainly of two types. One which is having size greater than 10 micrometer which settle by gravity, and the one which has size less than 10 micrometer which remains suspended as aerosol in the atmosphere. The instruments used for sampling or collection are dust fall jar, which uses the principle of sedimentation, high volume sampler, impingement, electrostatic precipitator, thermal precipitator, and tape sampler. First of all, let's see dust fall jar. This uses the principle of sedimentation by gravity. It is a simplest device and used mainly for particle size greater than 10 micrometer. It consists of a plastic jar of 20 to 35 centimeter height and 10 to 15 centimeter diameter. The base is with a slight inward tapering from top to bottom. Holder for safe and upright positioning is provided. Sampling is done for a period of 1 month. Material is dried and weighed, and it is reported in milligram per centimeter square or tons per kilometer square. Since the size is greater than 10 micrometer, they are not carried to distance greater than 1 kilometer. So the dust fall stations are closely spaced. This method is simple and inexpensive. It requires no electric power or moving parts, but it is less precise. High volume sampler. This is mainly used for particles having size less than 10 micrometer. A known volume of air is sucked by a high-speed blower through a fine filter. The increase in the weight of filter due to the trapped particles is measured. The filter is made of fibrous or granular material. This method provides about 99% efficiency for particles of 0.3 micrometer. Moderately efficient for particles less than 0.05 micrometer. Next method of particulate sampling is impingement method. Separation of the particles from the air stream takes place by collision against the flat surface. Dry impingers operate on the principle of impaction on the dry surface for particle collection. Based on the inertial technique in which particles are collected from the high velocity air stream directed towards the obstacles placed across the path of the air stream. Particulates collide with the obstacle and air changes its direction. If the obstacle are adhesive surface, then particles are impacted on it and this is known as dry impingement. Less efficient compared to the wet devices in collecting the small particles. If obstacle is wet by any liquid, then it is called as wet impingement. Wet impingement is used for collecting particulates in a liquid phase. Air stream impinges at high velocity onto the surface immersed in a liquid, which is flat surface. Gas breaks into the small bubbles and particles are collected by change in the direction of the gas flow and promoting their contact with the liquid. It helps in collecting samples directly without need for filtration or evaporation. Cascade impactor uses the principle of impingement. It is mainly used when the gas stream consists of particles of different sizes. The most commonly used is four-stage cascade impactor. In this, the air stream is passed through a series of jets. The pollutants are directed against the collection surface placed normal to the jet, as you can see from the figure. Smaller particles have lower momentum and are collected at later stages. Next method of sampling particulate matter is electrostatic precipitator. The most commonly used is a wet electrostatic precipitator. It consists of a discharge electrode, which is usually negatively charged, and a collecting surface or electrode, which is positively charged. In wet electrostatic precipitator, there is a provision for spraying water into the gas stream. So, the particles form a slurry and are separated from the bottom. As the raw gas moves upwards, the particles get negatively charged due to the discharge electrode and they are attracted towards the positively charged collecting electrode or collecting surface. And the collected particles are later removed from the collecting electrode. The electrostatic precipitator works on the principle of electrostatic precipitation. So, a negative charge is imparted to a wire or electrode which is placed axially inside a cylinder. The cylinder or there will be separately positively charged electrodes in the electrostatic precipitator, and when an air stream is passed through the cylinder, the particles acquire negative charge due to the discharge electrode and the particles then migrate to the collecting surface of the cylinder or to the collecting electrode. These collected particles are then analyzed, and this is mainly good for particle size between 0.01 to 20 micrometer. It is used where particle loading is relatively high. Portable precipitators are available. Next method is tape sampler. It is also called as soil haze particle sampler. A known volume of air is passed through a paper tape which is advanced in discrete time intervals from a supply reel as shown in the figure. So, in the figure, the supply reel is the clean tape reel. During sampling, the tape is stationary and the sampling time is mainly between 10 minutes to 2 hours. So, during the time of sampling, the air is passed through the nozzle and the particles are collected on the paper tape which forms a spot. The spot is then analyzed and it is measured as coefficient of optical haze, that is COH per 1000 feet. Once the sampling is done, the tape will be advanced and next sample will be taken. The next method of particulate matter sampling is thermal precipitation. The principle used is the smaller particles under the influence of a strong temperature gradient between two surfaces have a tendency to move towards the lower temperature and gets deposited on the older surface. So usually a temperature gradient of maybe up to 3000 degrees Celsius per centimeter is maintained between the two surfaces. The gas velocity through the sampling device must be low. Efficiency is high for smaller particles. 100% efficiency for the particle size range of 10 micrometer to 0.01 micrometer is achieved. So till now we have seen the various methods of sampling of ambient air. Now we'll be seeing the stack sampling or the sampling of the gas coming out of a stack of a industry. The major problem in stack sampling is to obtain a representative sample because high velocity and high temperature of gases makes it difficult to sample, and also the gas is under turbulent flow. So the gas flow pattern is non-uniform and unstable. Also the pressure, density, flow, etc. need to be considered, which goes on changing. Multiple samples are required and the sampling site should be located at least 8 stack diameter upstream and 2 stack diameter downstream from any disturbance like a bend, fitting, etc. 2 sets of transverse reading at 90 degree apart in the same plane for circular stack is taken. As you can see from the figure, for a circular stack, the dots represent the various sampling points. So they are taken across the two diameters spaced away from each other. In the case of a rectangular stack, the sampling points are as shown in the figure. For a stack sampling, usually the sampling system that is used is called as a sampling tray. A stack sampler is mainly used for this purpose, and the stack sampler mainly consists of a nozzle, a sampling probe, a particulate collector, cooling or gas collector, a gas flow meter, a flow control valve, and a pump which sucks the gas from the stack. So as you can see from the figure, as the flue gas moves upwards through the stack, the gas sample is sucked in through the nozzle of the stack sampler and it moves through the sampling probe and initially is passed through the particulate collector. The particulate collector may be something like a electrostatic precipitator or some other system. Then it is passed through a cooling or gas collector. The gas collector may be something like the absorption into solids or absorption into liquid, etc. And there is a gas flow meter which indicates the amount of gas sucked in or the volume of the gas sucked in. The flow control valve controls the flow and the pump sucks in the air. The nozzle is a sharp edged portion and the probe is made of stainless steel with glass or Teflon lining. For temperature greater than 400 degrees Celsius, a circulating coolant system to prevent the combustion of particulate matter is provided. Particulate collector or gas collector mainly include the electrostatic precipitator or wet or dry impingement method, thermal precipitators, etc. for particulates, absorption or adsorption of resort sampling method for the gaseous pollutants. The flow meter measures the volume of air pumped in. There is a flow control valve and the pump. So till now we have seen the various methods of sampling of ambient air as well as the sampling methods of the stack gas.